Earthquake forces are simplified in analysis and taken as base shear acting on the structure for response of the seismic action. Base shear is the force which is assumed to be acting on the base of the structure in response to the earthquake. Equivalent static force method is a simplified way to compute the base shear which act on the structure in time of earthquake. Base shear as per IS 1893 or any design code can be written as seismic weight times design horizontal seismic coefficient AH. So we basically have two parameters, seismic weight and the design horizontal seismic coefficient. Now let's see what all these things depend upon. Base vector, which is the design horizontal seismic coefficient, is given as Z by 2 times I by R times SA by G. Z is the zone vector, is I is the importance vector, R is the response reduction vector, SA by G is the acceleration coefficient that we have. Now let's see what all these parameters are dependent upon. Z, the zone vector. This signifies the seismicity of the location where the structure is located. India has been divided into four earthquake zones based on their past fault lines. On the map below, you can find the various locations of India divided into multiple earthquake zones. Seismic zones, the zone vector can be found out. The zone 2 has the zone vector zero point 0.1, zone 3 has 0.16, zone 4 has 0.24, and zone 5 has 0.36, and so on. Factor of 2 is taken to reduce the maximum side earthquake to the design basis earthquake. Next factor that we have is importance factors. Importance factor signifies the how critical or the important the structure is which is being designed. Importance factors given as per IS 1893 can be 1.5, 1.2 or 1 depending on the category of the structure. The next parameter is response reduction factor. The seismic forces acting to the structure is reduced by response reduction factor to account for the structure's capability to dissipate the energy. The energy dissipation capacity depends upon the redundancy and the overstrength factor of the structure. A direct correlation is with the structural system used. The response reduction factor for a particular structure can be taken from table 9 of IS 1893. For example, the moment resting frame, which is special moment resting frame, has the R of factor 5. The next step is SA by G, which is the design acceleration coefficient. The design acceleration coefficient or SA by G is dependent on the soil type and the natural time period of the structure. The approximate time period of the structure as per IS 1893 can be used to find SA by G values. Once the time period of the structure has been finalized, the SA by G values can be found from the respectra used for equivalent static method below. It is critical to find the approximate time period of the structure. IS 1893 states various parameters to find the approximate time period. The bare moment tracing frame has a time period as given below, which is 0.075 times s to the power 0.75 for RC frame, and similarly the factor changes for steel and a composite frame. The approximate time period for the RCC structural wall building can also be given as the expression below, and which can be used to find the approximate time period. And the very last type of the buildings are the all other buildings, which is mostly the RCC frame building with the infill walls. There the approximate time period can be given as 0.09 times h divided by root d, where root d is the dimension of the structure in that particular direction. Once you have found the approximate time period for the structure, the SA by G can be computed using the spectra for equivalent static method. Once you have computed the H value, the seismic weight is needed to compute the design base shear. The seismic weight can be given as dead load plus a certain factor of imposed load. The factor depends upon how much the actual imposed load is. If the imposed load is more than 3, the factor used would be 50%, whereas if that is less than 3 or 3, it will be 25%. So a small video on base shear calculation using equivalent static method. If you want me to make more videos on that, please share your comments.